Hello. As you can see, finally on the new version of, the new long-term support version of Ubuntu Studio, which is 24.04. So far I've had a good experience with it. There have been one or two little hurdles I've had to get over before being able to make music, but I've managed to solve them, and actually some pretty cool stuff's going on. Let's start off with so what I really had trouble with was the install of Hydrogen that comes with this operating system. Didn't work with the system drum kits that I was using from the previous version, which was annoying because I had a file full of drum beats. Anyway, the answer to how to solve the problem, if you're having a problem with your system drum kits on Hydrogen, if you're using this new 24.04 Ubuntu Studio, is literally get the app image of the new version of Hydrogen, because it's great. It's got all this stuff happening with it, which is great. I didn't even know you could use Hydrogen with the CLI, but turns out, yeah, you can. And they've been adding things to it, so amazing. So what I did was I got the Hydrogen drum kit, the new Hydrogen drum machine version as an app image, and I also downloaded the AVL drum kits for Hydrogen, which are like, so the Red Zeppelin and the Black Pearl, and there's a few others actually that I managed to get from here. But basically the plugins were already there in Ardor, so I thought, instead of bodging together a sort of drum kit that works on the MIDI channels, what if I see if they actually just provide the drum kits? And lo and behold, a little bit of Googling and they do. So I've downloaded these, and so if I open up Hydrogen now, where's Hydrogen? Where's downloads? There's the downloads. Yeah, we've got the new version here. And so these are all the files that I had, all the patterns that I had previously programmed in, and I've managed to keep them. And luckily, all of the things that I put in were on the same lines on here as they were when I loaded the new drum kit that I downloaded. So that was just an amazing fluke, but it meant that everything just worked together properly. Now, I imagine, that's so I couldn't hear that for a minute because I had it set to direct. In fact, what I'm going to do is put it back on direct on my another thing about the new version of Ubuntu Studio is that my interface is working properly. I don't know if you recall from the previous video, but or one of the previous videos, but I was saying about how it didn't quite work properly. It's the M Audio 192, the M Audio Air 192/14, and I got it because it was really good value for money when it came to connectivity. Sorry, let's just stop this. Really good value for money for connectivity. It had like 8 inputs and 4 outputs, but it wasn't working in the previous version. But now in this updated version, it's working perfectly. And I think the reason to do with that is so there's a new audio system called Pipewire, and it seems to have solved all the problems of Linux audio, which is wonderful, to be honest. I think what it does is it pretends to be all the other systems to whatever bit of software might happen to be asking, and then it internally just connects everything together. So like, I'm using Hydrogen, which is Jack software, and then I'm also using Firefox, which is, I think, Pulse Audio software, but they're both talking to each other without a A2J MIDI bridge, which sounds a bit technical, but that was the old way. There was some little bodgy app that used to bridge the gap, but now it's just all done with the new driver, which is great. So yeah, Pulse Audio, Pipewire. Pipewire's the new one, and it's really good. And it comes with this thing, This is the way that Pipewire. Well, this is a thing called Patience, and it's pretty similar to Carla, except it's got a wood finish. To be honest, it's good for connectivity. I suppose it's like very noob friendly because it's sort of, it's not as scary looking as Carla. If you look at Carla, which does the same job except also runs plugins, which is really useful for when you want to like run a tuner. Yeah, so yeah, it just basically does the same job as Carla, but looks prettier for, it looks less daunting and scary because look, if you put the two side by side, this one, that looks like the Matrix, whereas this one, well, that looks like your nan's kitchen table. So yeah, I can see why they've gone for that sort of a thing, but for me, I'm going to be using Carla just because it allows me to also run plugins outside of my door, which is great. So I don't really need that open. What I do need open is Ardor. Gonna start a new session. What should we call this? There you go, vidi me, my brothers. So I'm just going to show you the channel setup. I'm not going to do so much with plugins in this video, but just the tracks really, because what I would do now is slightly different to what I would have done in the previous basic music setup video. So first of all, I'm going to add a track bus or VCA, and this particular one's going to be a Red Zeppelin drum kit multi. Going to add that and close it. I'm also going to then add, let's do it over here, I can do it here too, double click there. I'm going to add a audio bus, which will be a stereo, and I'm going to call it drums. Add and close. Right now, in Carla, everything has become very crowded. Let's try and move it a bit. Right, that doesn't need to be connected to anything. That's the onboard. Now, OBS is what we're recording this video into, so we kind of need that. Hydrogen. Now, I don't want to use Hydrogen's actual own onboard sounds. What I want to do is I want to disconnect that and use Hydrogen's MIDI. First of all, disconnect that and connect Hydrogen's MIDI. See that? That's Hydrogen's MIDI. So now, when I press play on here, it should be coming out of there, which it seems to be. Let me just check. I've got to turn my thing back to USB mode. And it seems to be working. Right, so I've got a little bit of a drum beat now back in Ardor. I added a drum bus. Okay, where's my mixer? You'll notice as well, I've changed the theme of Ardor. That's because going forward I wanted to differentiate visually between the old videos and the new videos. And this is the first of the new videos. And yeah, this isn't the default style you'll get with Ardor, but what it is a new version of Ardor. The previous ones were on version 6 and this is version 8. So yeah, it's come forward a bit. So what I'm doing is all these drum channels, I'm going to send them, rather than going to the master output, they're going to go to the drums output. So drums in, drums in. Okay, so they're all going to this bus, and now this bus is going to the master, so it should still make a noise. Oh wait, hang on, no, I need to press play on Hydrogen. Right, seems to still be making a noise reliably, that's good. So now, what I want to do is I want to add a little plugin in here. I know I said I wasn't going to do too much with plugins, but I do want to do a harsh delay. So, plugin selector, let's sort of a delay. LCR display. Display? Delay. Whatever it is, insert the plugins. Okay, now. First we need to so there's absolutely no delay on any of it now. The other thing I want to add also to this is a stereoscope thing. Stereo phase scope, that's the one. Right, now. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I just kind of want to be able to see you while I'm doing this. Okay, so we got that. And we got that thing. So now I should be able to just put a tiny little bit of delay on the right channel. There we go, and that spread it out somewhat. That's too far. Let's say 13.9, that looks about right. So all that's literally done is the tiniest little bit of delay on one side of it, just to widen it out somewhat. Okay, so I'm going to add now another track. This is going to be an audio track. Call it bass. Add and close. Send that back to the beginning. Just quick, right. Just stop that for a moment. Send that back to the beginning too. Now I could set this up as the time master, but it's not that important. For a minute. Maybe I could set this up to be not the master. Okay, jack transport mode is on. Let's see if this works. Session. Transport. Right, so now this one's the time master. Okay, get off. Which should mean now if I press play on this, the drums should start. but they do not. But I'll have to figure out why that's working later on. Not working even. One thing I do know is that should be 70. Okay, so, well, at least the timings are correct, so we'll be able to line them up in the future. But it would be nice to get that time base working properly. But for now, let's just run with this. So we've got this running. Playing well enough into this. Let's see. I don't need that open for a second. Now, have I set up the bass track yet? No, not yet. So that'll be the last thing to do quickly. Now, because I already had the tuner set up, I know it's that channel. For some reason as well, the new Pipewire seems to think that everything is quadraphonic. So we've got front left, front right, rear left, rear right on everything, which on the interface has made it have some really funny names just for normal mono inputs. It really thinks that like it's some amazing 5 or 10 or 8 channel surround sound thing that it just isn't. So it'd be nice if there was some way of informing it of actually no, it's just ordinary audio gear, nothing surround sound about it. But it does all work really well. Like it's still all routable. It's just the naming conventions that they've used that are a bit funny. However, right, so bass audio in one. Oh, did I set that up stereo? That might have been silly. Oh well, it's okay for now. Yeah, I did. I set that up stereo. Okie dokie then. So, if that's ready, and so is that. Well, there you go. I've started recording some music already. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it took a little minute to get the drum machine working properly, but now everything's going and there's a new version of it out and everything. It's all just a lot nicer. I'm really impressed with the way they've put together the software. The one thing I don't like, I have to give a bit of a criticism of this thing because I've got to be balanced. I don't like the new menus. I think the previous menus that they had were a lot nicer and easier to use, especially with my old eyes. But other than that, yeah, I am really impressed with this new version of Ubuntu Studio. I think it was definitely the right move going over to Pipewire. I was a bit dubious at first, and then I looked into how it works, and actually, yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, I think everyone should install this version because going forward, it's the long-term support release anyway, so you kind of need to. It would be nice to have a rolling release of something like Ubuntu Studio, so that wouldn't have to keep doing the upgrade cycle, the update cycle, or the reinstall cycle, whatever you want to call it. But you know, this is really nice for what it is. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful to someone. Yeah, well, take care. Bye.